Okay. After a very long week, I am back. Or should I say, we are back with yet another episode of the TalkTrack. As per usual, my name is Roy. I'll be your host for the evening. You can call me Kamada. You can call me the Alchemist. Apparently, I killed some people on Friday. Oh, I apologize for that. The cocktails were nice, so you guys all enjoyed. I got a new nickname, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. But on Friday, no, Wednesday last week, I got a new nickname, Boy Toy Roy. Shout out to Martin Jacobi for that. I don't know if it's an apt nickname, but I don't like it. I'm going to own it, but it's really strange to be called Boy Toy Roy. It rhymes with all my names, so that's pretty good. So that's a new one. And welcome to yet another episode of the TalkTrack. For those that are watching online, thank you for joining us. Ladies, thank you for being here tonight. I'd like to put out a disclaimer that this show is not just for women, because I know majority of the participants are women, and the men might be scared to come and join. No, there are no gender wars at the TalkTrack. It's all love here. We're all fam. At the TalkTrack, we're all fam. So there is no hate against men. So gentlemen, you can also come and present your ideas. So the TalkTrack is an independent production of the Kara Junkies. It's produced, edited, sound mixed, and shot by Morris, aka Moro, aka owner of the Kara bike, aka Oechigege, aka Morris the Menace, aka Morris the Captain, aka I've given you Morris the Captain for your newfound love for Captain Morgan. It's what we're doing now. We're just giving nicknames out of the blue. We don't own any of the rights to the music you're going to be hearing in the background. That one, and also the TalkTrack. The views expressed on this platform are not representative of any entities represented by the TalkTrack. These are views presented by intellectuals based on their perspective and experiences. If you feel like you have something knowledgeable you'd like to get from them, please do. But otherwise, we're just here to have a good time and listen to each other's opinions about certain things. That being said, I watch a lot of sports, so this week has been a very good shout out to Team Crystal Palace, their first FA Cup trophy in a while, actually, in the history of their existence as a football club. So shout out to that. Although, it being the year of the underdog sports-wise, I have a very strong feeling that let's not talk about Wednesday. I've not been watching the news. I've not been watching the news clearly this week, so I'm not going to update you guys on anything. But when I follow up for the coming week, I will start this segment with a bit of news. But in the spirit of conversation, in the spirit of gatherings, in the spirit of togetherness, I felt like we could tap into the aspect of community a little bit. I feel like that is a very unspoken topic, in my opinion. We live in places, we exist in spaces, and we always assume that, we know everything there is to know about those spaces and how we interact with people in those spaces, but I don't think we ever take time to properly examine the communities in which we are. And I'm not talking about places where we stay. I'm talking about more than that. I'm talking places where we interact with other people outside of our homes, outside of our workplaces. A community doesn't have to be like a district or a city. It can be just one or two or three people. And I feel like heavily our views on community are shaped, and our perspective on community is shaped by some of the experience we have as children. How you see the people around you, interact with the people around them as a child, I think leaves a huge imprint on you in terms of how you then perceive community in the future. And I feel like now more than ever, especially with our generation, and we'll talk about it, the effect of social media on community a little bit later, but with our generation where we're so boxed in and, we're more virtual than anything else, I feel like, more than anything now, this is something we need to talk about. So, in the spirit of questioning you guys, what's up, Morris? Yes, one day you're going to be here. I want to make sure people see you one day. Anyway, ladies, in the spirit of community, just let's start us off simply, what did community look like for you when you were growing up? What did that look like? Were you guys closed in? Were you the runners? Were you the roamers? Were you the people who used to go from home to school, then from school back to home, and you don't see other people until you go back to school the next day or the next term? So what did community look like for you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Well,
And the gentleman, finally.
yeah, finally, a gentleman is here. So, Zahara is my name, and I'm glad to be here. Well, if I can just go straight to what community looked like when I was growing up. And I think I'm still growing up, unless otherwise.
Why are we lying?
But I think community, it was about the people who were close, especially in our village setting. I'm from Budondo.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm from Budondo. So I happened to grow up in a village setting whereby we had different homesteads around, and we could interact with not only the people within my homestead, but also the people around. We could interact, play, and then also do households, like go fetch water and all that. So to me, community, it was all about interacting and associating with the people within the community.
So growing up, yours was less of, keeping to ourselves and more of, I'm going to be around as many people as I can be because of the kind of setting that you were growing up in, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's because how did that eventually sort of affect the way you interact with people now? Because growing up in an environment like that, it's a very social environment from what you've seen, collecting, for example, like going as a group of families to fetch water. Yeah. You're not just interacting with the people you go home to, but your neighbor, your neighbor's daughter, your neighbor's son. You even have specific gossip for specific people. Yeah? You know that behind this side, Mama Kadama, I'm going to talk about the food that was not served at that funeral. But at the front there, when I go, Mama Esther, I'm going to talk about the other man who did not come back home last night because he was with a youngin. So how, growing up in a community like that, growing up in a setting like that, how did that affect and how has that shaped the way you interact with people now and how you build community now?
Yeah, okay. Well, it shaped me that I'm a people's person, first of all. I'm outgoing and I love interacting. And then it gave me a safe space that I'm confident in what I do. Like when I meet people, the way I interact and associate with them. So I think if I could just borrow the current status of the town children, I can call them kids, they are conserved into their homes. So they don't associate usually with the outside world. So at the end of the day, I think it turns them to be introverts. I don't know about that. I can be guided otherwise. So I think it has impacted me to be a social person and outgoing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is it.
Nice. Maurice, I remember you told me the biggest place you hung out with was that mango tree in the middle of the compound. Do you remember that story? But you also told me that story after... anyway, we shall talk about it. I don't want to expose your secrets. I'll be here, be like, Maurice is a very nice person, but we forgot that he hung out under a mango tree. Maurice, what did you do under that mango tree? For those that want to know what Maurice did, please stay tuned. I'm going to come back to him. Today he's going to have a question to answer. So moving on swiftly, thank you so much, Zahara, for that. And that is something I actually wanted to touch on because back in the day, it seemed like people were more sociable, right? Like community was a lot more sociable, it seems, back in the day. Because when I hear the stories that my father tells me about how he grew up and how they interacted with people when, they didn't have quick access. There was no easy access to someone, right? These days it's too easy. I pick up my phone, hey, how you doing? I'm good. You don't even know if the person is good or if they're just replying to you because they don't want to talk. But, back in the day, it seemed like you actually had to put in the effort. And I think that built stronger bonds. You had to put in the effort. You had to get out of your house and move a certain distance to go and see Mama Kadama if you wanted gossip. Now you're all in a WhatsApp group. So you don't have to see Mama Kadama. Mama Kadama just throws it there. Mama Kadama could be in the house sugarless, but you won't know because you have the WhatsApp group for Mama Kadama to participate in. And yet back in the day, Mama Kadama would see you every Saturday. So, do you think social media has played a positive or negative role in building community as we know it now? And what impact has that had on us as people, especially in terms of how social we are? Because these days everyone wants to be an introvert, everyone wants to be an extrovert. Some will tell you I'm an extrovert, INJ. I don't even know what that means. But we've categorically grouped ourselves into this. People are telling you I'm an extrovert, I'm an introvert. And do you think social media has played a role, in shaping how we think about ourselves as community and how we interact with community now? And is that positive in the aspect as it is now, or is it more negative as compared to what it was back in the day? So, is social media good or bad for community and building community? Yeah, scare us.
For me, I think social media is in the middle. It's good and bad at the same time.
Why?
It's positive for other aspects, but with community and relationships, it's horrible. I don't know. It seems like the relationships are not real over social media. We don't even talk to people, but we just assume they are okay from what they have posted. You cannot talk to a friend for even a year, but they post like a weekly. Just because they have posted something nice, we assume they are okay. And we realize we only reach out maybe when this person has been offline like for a very long time, and you're like, wait, what's up? You no longer post. You don't even ask, how are you doing? What happened? And I also realized that we tend, right now as adults, we tend to have a stronger bond with the friends we had as children because we actually met up with them, we actually talked, we actually experienced their energy because we were seated in the same place. Growing up in a communal place, we realized like every afternoon there was some place where all the kids come out and hang. So like you are there, you are seated. Actually, people would sit there until evening, like after the games, and then people are seated there maybe until like bathing time. That's when people go back to their homes.
I would actually like to apologize to my parents. I'm sorry I made your compound that place when I was a child. Please forgive me. Yes, please proceed.
Yeah, so I believe like social media has come with its advantages for the businesses and also for reaching long distance relatives and friends. But the major side, I don't think it has done well for our relationships. They're not as strong.
All right, unpopular opinion. With the way community was set up before the popularity of social media, unpopular opinion, do you think it was more difficult to filter out the people that you did not want to be in your space as a community? Because remember, back then, social animals. So you're literally talking to everyone or almost everyone, and you're engaging with them on a deep level. Because remember, you're sharing spaces, so you're sharing energies, you're engaging with them on a deep level. And that meant sometimes having to interact with people that you didn't necessarily have or want to deal with, right? We'd call them now toxic people. So, unpopular opinion, has maybe social media helped us in a way to filter out the kind of people that we want close to us in our lives? Because like Kia mentioned, now it's much easier for us to pay attention to the people that we want to pay attention to because of social media. So has it made it easier for us to be like, okay, these are my people and these are not, and now I don't have to do that with people that I don't want to do it with? Or has it done the opposite? Has social media made it easy for you to avoid toxic people?
I think so. It has so much. You just block someone and you're like,
You're like, guys, I'm not feeling this energy. But okay, maybe we are blocking people now and it's easier. But then are we taking away that opportunity of giving ourselves as individuals the opportunity to learn about each other and grow with each other as community? Because look at this. With social media, what happens is the energy is going to be felt in about 3 or 4, 5 texts, right? And we all know energy over text and energy in person can be different, right? But because the first outlet we have is social media, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 texts, and so the energy is off, and maybe miss out on actually someone that would have built us inevitably. So, yeah, are we taking away that opportunity to actually learn about each other and, grow as people, as community?
I think you have answered the question. It's because the relationships are so shallow that it's easy to let go. We were texting a week ago every day, and now we don't text anymore, and nothing has changed. But with people you are meeting every day, there's so much to share. There's so much you have in common to just let that relationship just die like that. But with social media, it's because maybe, we met out once and we exchanged contacts. We don't know ourselves that much. You're going to text me once and maybe I'm not online, and then you're going to assume, this person doesn't want to talk to me because they did not reply me in 1 or 2 days. So it's easy because the relationship, there's no bond.
Some of us are just lazy. Let me say you people texting every single day. Unpopular opinion. People are going to have me for this. Hey, Roy, what about your girlfriend? Did you text your girlfriend every day? Of course I do. But sometimes I'm just lazy. I'll prioritize texts like A, B, C, D. The rest of you, we shall see what to do tomorrow. I also procrastinate in responses. Yes, Zahara, you're saying something.
Well, I think you said it that you're prioritizing. At the moment, your girlfriend or whoever person is not a priority. Someone can stay online for 24 hours and you don't text, but nevertheless. What I was trying to say is that social media really, I can't say that it has helped us to do away with toxic people, as you say, because there is a reason for everything. Everyone needs each other. Like, we need to be in the same space, that everyone has value you add onto your neighbor friend. Now, when we come to the current situation where we take social media to be everything in terms of the way we do things, we live and interact, I think it has really it has eroded what was supposed to be there. On a personal level, if we are living in the same space, physically interact, I don't see any. I don't say that there will be something like toxic community. You deal with someone on a personal level and you iron out whatever it could be there. But right now, we feel like we can be independent, and which is not true. That at the end of the day,
like Liz said, you just block and go out.
Yeah, you just block. Yet at the end of the day, we need us. That's the same reason why right now there is high rate of suicide and depressed communities that brings down to broken individuals,
What was that statistic? By 20 something, 70% of Ugandans will be mad.
Actually, yes.
That was a nice one.
The thing is, people, you can be you can be indoors, and then you're lonely because you don't have that personal touch with the people, yeah?
You've blocked everyone.
And they've blocked you back, So basically, you're stuck by yourself and you're depressed. You don't have somebody to share with. So when you step out and you share with, and that's why people randomly, we usually use borders. You sit on a border, someone will tell you.
And you randomly talk to the border guy.
Exactly. You'll know about their whole life, because they are lacking that personal touch with someone. They do their border business and back home, and the routine continues. So that's why we are broken, and no wonder I'll not be a part of the mad people.
So much was Yes. Yeah, by the way, people, community is good for mental health. But yeah, speaking about that, do you think these days, especially because ever since the advent of social media, do you think a lot of us this day and age feel more at home online than we do in real life? Because it's starting to seem for a lot of people like it's very easy for them to interact on online. Like people are very outspoken online, but then when you bring that person out into real life, it's a very awkward creature. So do you think we are slowly but starting slowly but surely starting to become a community that is more comfortable and feeling more at home online than we are, in real life.
I would like to answer that question, but I think that being online these days is much easier than dealing with the people. Yeah, because yeah, I will answer you why.
Yeah, why is that?
Because I don't have to deal with the drama. So if I don't want to talk to you, I will not talk to you.
Yeah, you just don't have to.
Yeah, I don't have to, and I'm in control. But when you go and you talk to people and all they are telling you is their problems and stuff, and you're working on it, like it's so dramatic, man. It's so tiresome. Like you're chasing something, and then the next day you meet someone, they're just telling you, oh, my dad has just died or what. And it's not a bad thing or what, but you're also dealing with a lot of stuff. You have a lot on your mind. So it feels like you are a prefect to problems all the time. So with social media, I can say now, at this time, I don't want someone to call me. And at this time, I want this person to call me, because it helps you to focus on your project. Like I'm working on this project. I don't want this person to call me. I don't want them to come to me at any time they please, because as you know, the African culture, anyone can just come and knock at your gate and be like, man, I'm here now. And I'm like, did you have a program with me? And then they find you in a bad mood and they're like, man, this guy, I met him today and was so...
He was so mean.
Mean. And I didn't mean it that way.
I was at the gate and
yeah.
you did not open.
Yeah, true.
Did you make a program? No.
Yeah, and
But
they
he's my
don't
brother.
want to understand that. Then they're like, yeah, you're my brother. Why should I make a program with you? So,
All right, but then again, right? That's actually a very good point, and I think it's something we shy away from. Like it's a truth in its own way, shape, or form. But then hasn't that now taken away, because traditionally Africans and African culture were very communal people, so growth was growth for the community, right? It was like a rising tide rises all boats. And with what he has said, and he has brought up a very important point, has our community slowly started turning into a very self-centered, or do we have that self-centeredness now built more into us, like it's a me first and then everyone else, because I need to take care of myself, I need to focus on myself, I need to watch my mental health, I need to do this? Have we become a me first community, or do we still have aspects of that communal love?
So I'll just give from my personal experience. I've not been online for the past 9 months. Like I've not had any social media. Yeah, for the first 9 months. So I'm comparing like my life before when I was online and my life after. Because before I would spend a week without talking to anybody or seeing anybody. I would just be on my phone throughout. But now I actually get out. I know my neighborhood more. I talk to people and all that. But I've also got to experience a lot of drama. Like I've never had this much drama in my life.
It's two sides of a coin, because now you're paying more attention.
Exactly, but I feel like I'm also having more friends that I've had like real people to interact with, and it's like a really positive thing. Like I get to actually see people and know what they're going through and all that. But I think because growing up as a kid, I grew up in a very big community and all that. So community, there are always positives and negatives. You always fight, have disagreements, but that's part of life and community. And right now, getting back into the community, it's a good thing. Those who now be online, get about you.
2026 is close. You can complain.
Kia calls me mayor because now I know everybody in town.
Ladies and gentlemen, community is building political careers. Wait and see. No gerrymandering. We still know where you are, so we know. But yeah, speaking about that, that's one of those things that, again, we shy away from, but it's a double-edged sword in that the kind of attention you pay when you're very community-centered is attracts maybe a little bit more, because people want to feel they're actually being seen and being listened to and being heard. And when people feel that from you, it becomes easy for them to talk to. So you're not attracting drama. No, people just want to talk to you because you're giving them attention, because we are such an attention-starved community right now that everyone is looking for it in all the wrong places. Yeah. So just Zahara, something to say, I feel.
Yeah, well, what you said, recently I felt like I should just go and breathe some fresh air. So I went to one of the places in Ginger. So I found this young girl, I think she was making, in her early 20s, I can say. The fact that even the people we live with, because of social media, we do not have personal relationship with them. So this girl, she's from certain family, but just because of lacking who to talk to, she was breaking down. So randomly, I go there, I sit, and then she asked for my phone to just make a phone call, and she broke down and started crying. So I was confused. I said, okay. So I was like, what's up? So she tells me ABC, a few issues. But regardless, what I'm trying to drive at is that social media is good, that it can help us maybe reach out to different people quickly. But to me, if it comes to personal relationship with the individuals that matter in our lives, it's really not doing us good. Because as you say that you can make a call even to your own parents or siblings that, hey, how are you? You just straight with your point, but you don't know what they are going through. And that's why there is a lot of drama, because everyone, they are broken and they have their own personal things to deal with that they don't want to tolerate. But if we could meet and share on a personal level, even just looking at someone, you know that they're not doing well. Instead of calling and just start from your point of view, would want to understand and have that roundtable conversation in our families and all that. So to me, social media, it's not the in thing. And if there would be a way to try to limit, then it would be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I wanted to add something small till about interacting on the internet or social media.
Yes.
On social media, there's a way it seems like people are behind some kind, we're all putting on some kind of mask, like on social media. I think that's one of the disadvantages. With interacting with people in person and in community, I think there's a lot of character development and personality. It's like we don't have personality anymore. Like people, we are very fake. Like people are going to leave, maybe you send a message and then someone puts a lot of hearts. They don't even mean it. But they don't even mean it. Like you have like...
People have had these things on their
It's
chests
actually-
for a while. They're looking for a way to express
You
them.
see, like it's a virtual community. It's not real. Like you have this group of people you talk to, but it's not real. Like when you have something important to share, you find like you look for someone to share it with, and you don't have, because the real friendships are actually the people you meet, talk to, sit down with them. I've had people say like, yeah, I have a lot of friends, but when I have issues, I don't have who to talk to. Because it gives you that thing like, oh, this is happening, I can post it in the group, and of course people will laugh, people will respond, but you find you don't have a personal connection with these people. So I think, yeah.
Actually, that's, yeah.
Yeah, I want to compliment. For me, I disagree because
I like this.
for me, social media is everything to me.
Everything.
Yeah, it is everything to me.
That is a very heavy statement, by
Yes,
the way.
because social media has made me who I am.
Exactly. Okay, yeah.
I
makes sense.
communicate all my friends. Actually, I don't have a lot of friends in Uganda. But because of social media, I have a lot of friends abroad. I have friends in Germany, I have friends in Austria, I have friends in the US. And if I have a problem, it is even funny how that the friends that I have on social media will come through for me than the friends that I have here around in my community. So social media is so powerful. It is so powerful because even with all these international transfers, money things and stuff that are going on, Like you can literally run anything on social media. So I feel like everybody in the community, and also it depends on what community you are in. For me, where I'm living is a village. I live in Wairaka, it's a village.
Yo, man, Wairaka is a hard guy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. And sometimes I feel out of place because my ideas are not fitting in sometimes with the people that I live in. So I cannot literally develop, but I can do something that is developmental to help the people. But I cannot do that with the people in my community because the level of understanding that we are on, not that I'm underestimating them, but it's not the same.
Actually, now that brings me to my next question. How do you guys choose to build the communities around, like, your communities? Leave alone the communities that you're in, right? But your community is your people. So how do you go around building your community? What are the hallmarks? Is it, like Kia and Zara were mentioning, is it built more on interpersonal relationships, like people you talk to, people you can share with on a personal level, or like you said, is it more about going global because now it's it's a global village? Is it about having people around you that are going to help you achieve a particular goal, right? Like, remember. Sure. So is it more interpersonal relationships for some of you guys, building the communities around you? Is it more about being strategic in that these people are going to help you get to a certain point, or is it a mix of both?
For me, there's that saying of for family, like you are born there by chance, but the life you're going to make is your choice. For me, community, I think, like, let me say with friends.
Your community.
My community with friends. First of all, I look at shared values because we have to have something in common for us to be a community or to even connect. So I look at shared values, not that we have to have the same values throughout, but we have to have something that is going to bring us together. Yeah. That's one thing I look at.
Yeah, not deviating so much from what she has said. I think as you're developing your community is not the physical address where you are.
Exactly.
You may know there is knowing people and understanding them. So you may know your neighbors, but you don't understand them on a personal level. So your community is the people that surround, according to me, the people that surround you, that you really share the same ideas and all that. So as you're developing your community, I think you have to be intentional, on, first of all, who are you and what are you looking for in a person? You can have a circle of 5 friends, but 3 of them, they're just normal casual friends that you meet and socialize. Then the 2, that's why, So I think as you're choosing who to relate with, you have to know what are you looking for. Because I think if we are to go only with our physical address, the community from where we are, it loses meaning. Because right now this is like it's a global world, You not only need people you stay with, but also in different places, the way you say, in terms of trade and all other aspects of life. So this brings us that even if you go to work, there is that community at your workplace. But be intentional on who you're relating with and to what extent you are doing so. I think that's what I think.
So for the both of you, more than emotions and more than strategy, you have to be intentional. I think it's like an umbrella term, because when I say emotional and strategic and then intentional, you're still intentional in each regard. So it's an umbrella term, yeah.
For me, my community, most of the time, people that I work with or help me with some, like we complement each other's businesses or something. Mostly that's what thing that, because I've had friends that don't stay long, but most of the people that have become part of my community are those people who have been complimenting me business wise, and we have become friends, and we've been like together for a very long time, and we've never had like any kind of, because everyone knows the part they play in each other's like life. For me, like that's like the long-term community that I've built of those people who have become family for me. So wherever I'll go, like they will always be my people. Yeah.
Okay.
Today I saw something, a picture, and then the caption was like, when my friends from my different friend groups come together. So everyone was so different, and me, that's what I believe is community.
Yeah.
Because one community will not have everything you need. Me personally, let me say, using my example, I don't have, let me say, a clique. Like all my friends, like they belong to some other friend group. They have their own friends, but they are very, very good friends.
You are
Like,
the ones. You are the friend stealers.
no,
You are the
not a
ones.
friend stealer. Because I believe like every community serves a purpose in our lives.
That's
Even
what-
us here,
That's what a friend
we
stealer
have
would say.
group of friends. We have childhood friends that we have had our lives. We went to different schools where you find, I have friends from this school. Yeah. We went to the university. You have friends from your college. And then you also have friends from
Hostel.
hostel. People are doing way different courses.
By the way, those were the most important
And then we
ones.
go out, now we are adults. We have friends from work. These are like your
You
colleagues.
forget friends from the bar.
Yes.
Another important
Yeah,
group.
so like different communities, I think it's really important to easily be someone who easily fits in and associates with different people. It makes your life very colorful. If this group is depressing, you go and look for your bad friends.
You see?
So like I think it's good to have a mixture.
Friend stealers. Like, can I borrow you from this clique for a bit, please? First come.
No, but well, me, I think if you're just open, that means you can easily be eroded. You're not static. You don't know what you want. You're in the back group and all that. It's not that you do away with other groups, but I mean within the different circles. To me, what I was saying, that community to me, it is not only family but the people I relate with, like I rhyme with,
Okay. Yeah.
So within those friends of friends and etc, what's my community? How, like those 5 people I can call that maybe I need 1M and everyone's like, okay, let me give you 200 each, That is the community that I'm talking about. Because at the end of the day, you're developing each other, maybe go in the bar, you make noise. As I said, you can have 10 friends. These ones are for drinking. Like, these ones are for doing ABCD. So you can't be everywhere. You cannot. And regardless, even if we need each other, if you go with everyone, that's when you start attracting even bad energy. It starts wanting community. You have to be selective. That's why I need to be intentional in who I'm associating with.
Let me first ask Maurice a question. Do you miss me when you don't see me? Or do we just do the podcast, then we do karaoke, and then we just go our separate ways? You sometimes sit down and be like, man, I miss Roy. Maurice misses me. He has just confirmed. You didn't see him, but he misses me.
Okay.
That feels good. Community.
I wanted to add something. For me, I think everyone what they are trying to say is that being in community is all about being strategic. That's the truth. You have to be strategic. You have to know who your friends are. You have to know who the people to meet, the people to be with, and everything. And everyone has a circle of friends that they trust and stuff. So, but also being in a community also could mean that you go beyond yourself. Like I was in Interact Club and we always said service beyond ourselves. So that is also community.
Interactors.
Yeah, you have to do something extraordinary beyond yourself. You leave your comfort zone. Because there are places I go and I know that now I'm broke, man. I need to go to this shop and I'll get free stuff. Yeah, of course. I'll get free stuff.
Free, not on credit,
No,
but free.
It's almost free because no one is selling things for free. I mean, like it's free because during that time it feels to you that it's free.
Are these
Yeah,
people,
but it is also a credit.
Are these people in Wairaka?
No.
First move there. First, you will relocate.
So then you will go somewhere. You build a community of friends. Like, if I come here, I drink, I can tell them I'm coming back tomorrow, and they will trust me. So I also build a community. But everything is about the effort that you put into.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
So it's all about what you want. It's all about what you want to achieve, and you achieve it, and that is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, end game, the end justifies the means, Machiavelli, in terms of community. I feel like Kia, you wanted to say something.
Yes, I wanted to add something on what she's saying.
Please add. You guys are going to go back and forth.
Being grounded, and maybe you might get lost or something. But I remember I have a friend called Patricia, and there's sometimes we're actually talking about friendship, and then what kind of level are your friends at? Like, do you know who you can rely on? And I remember asking me a question, like, if you die today, how many people are going to travel to Lira for burial? Like, who has you? But that doesn't mean just because you've identified these people, that is your community. But it shouldn't stop you from interacting with so many other people. For example, there's something I saw on social media. Selena Gomez is preparing her wedding.
Hey, mama.
And then someone in the comments
are you going?
No, I want to give an example. Someone was in the comments because someone was like, oh, these are the people Selena has invited to her wedding. Then someone in the comments was like, just because you've taken a picture with someone doesn't mean they're going to invite you to their wedding. People are just being social. And I think, we have a community we build. First of all, it starts from our families. Our families, that takes us back to the social media thing where people easily cut off people. If we used to easily cut off people, do you know how many times siblings fight? But we always make up because these are our people.
I don't fight with my siblings. I don't know about you guys. We have a very cordial relationship.
Someone is faking it somewhere. But community is not just the close ones. There's a community you can go, you contribute something. We come here at the Barrel House. Because we come here every Sunday and sit, does it mean you're now part of my close friends? No. Maybe Liz will have a party and she will invite only one person from here. But that doesn't mean we're not part of her community. We just have a role that we are playing.
Because you did not agree with what she said on the podcast today. That's why she won't invite you. So like they said, be strategic.
Be strategic as you're creating your communities, but be able to also fit in. But you should know who you are, because if you don't know who you are, another person will always define for you who you are. So you have to know who you are, then you can know which community you want to be part of and what you're going to do there.
Yep. Liz, you're closing us out.
Okay. I was just thinking of how the values, like when you're choosing your friends, but I think I do interact with almost everybody, even if border guys, like whoever, like I interact with everybody, but I choose what I want to let in. Like if the conversation, if I don't want to be a part of that conversation, I'll excuse myself in a very nice way, but I talk to almost everyone. Like when I'm moving on the street, almost everyone's like, hi. Like even you don't know this person, but you're like, hey, hi.
Mayor.
And I feel like for the past 9 months that I've been offline, I've gotten to know so many people, like in my like even around Ginger and all that. And I feel like I'm like kind of building my personality, because I feel like I'm more fun. I'm not trying to pretend to be like this fun person. I'm just fun around people and happy.
So bottom line basically is, guys, take time off social media, walk around the community, get to know people. Have you watched the series Mayor of Kingstown? That's you now. You're the mayor of Ginger City. All right. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for joining us. I actually didn't think you'd have a lot to say about community. It's a very strange topic. That's why I thought it up today. It's like it's something not a lot of people are going to talk about. But yeah, I've loved the input, and it was really just about getting an understanding, or your feelings about what community is like now, because it's very different from what a lot of us grew up with, right? So yeah, with that, thank you so much. As per usual, I've been your host for the evening. My name is Roy, aka we shall put subtitles. I'll just say all of them, put them there. For those that want to know my nicknames in person, please call Morris. I'll put his number in the comments. He'll tell you what my nicknames are. Yeah, the TalkTrack is an independent production of the Kara Junkies. It's produced, edited, sound mixed, and shot by Morris, a very multi-talented individual who is not going to be off social media anytime soon. We do not own any of the rights to the music you've had playing in the background. The opinions expressed by the individuals are their own and not affiliated in any way to the Kara Junkies or Plot 8B Gabla Road, which is the bar house, which is also the home of the Kara Junkies. Yeah, we'll see you guys next Sunday. Feel free to leave a like and a comment on our socials at TalkTrack UG on YouTube, and catch the Kara Junkies at our various experiences. So Tuesday, Laksa Bar and Grill in Mbarara for open mic karaoke. Wednesday at the Bourbon in Ginger for the for the quiz nights. Thursday at the Bourbon in Ginger for open mic karaoke. Friday at the Bar House for Retro Fridays. Saturdays at the Bar House for the Q List, and Sunday at the Bar House for the TalkTrack. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, allow me wish you a very lovely week. Good luck to the Manchester United fans. I'm saying that as if I'm not one of them. But good luck to the Manchester United fans. It's a make or break on Wednesday. Jesus, United. Anyway, we'll see you all next week. Thank you so much, and peace out.